Hey guys, all righty. Today is Friday, the 23rd. I just looked too. I just me on the phone. My camera's all messed up. Anyways, February the 23rd, 2024. All right, so just discussed the closet orientation with the wife. And so on my side, basically you have the cabinet going back in because the tile floor is notched around it. So I'm just going to repurpose it. And then we'll have a shelf set up so we can put our clothes on. This whole wall right here is just going to be shelves. And I'll split it in half. That way you have his and hers kind of set up. And the clothes that we don't use that much will end up going behind the ones that are hanging, you know, top and bottom. Over here, it'll be duplicated over here. And then instead of her having a dresser, I'll have the full lengths over in this area for her. So that's the way it's going to be set up. That's where I'm going to block it out at. So we're going to, well, drywall ain't that close today. We're taking our time here. Matthew's getting this part done. I'm trying to figure out things as well inside the shower. I mean, he's got, of course, this whole wall here, and then filling over there, and then whatever else I need down below. What I was starting to look at was my plumbing, because let me start back here. So what I've been looking at is that this here was completely encased. It had a, I don't know if it's Caesar stone or I don't know what it is. But anyways, whatever this product is, it had a full panel going down. Then it had some pieces glued in there so they could put a step in and a face in it, right? And there's no valves down there, so there's no access. You had to tear this thing apart. You had to cut all the silicone and everything that they had together. Had it together with, okay? Well, what I'm going to do is, since we have a drop-in tub that's oval and it emits air bubbles and stuff, I don't know how good it's going to be. This jet one here, unfortunately, if you come across jets, and some of you guys that know, they get mold inside of it. It's almost impossible to get it out unless you flush it out every month. So hopefully we don't have that same issue with this other one. But what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to put a step because it kind of impedes with trying to get in. Anybody can just sit on top of the edge, turn around and put one foot in and then the other foot and slide in. Instead of having to sprawl yourself out and get away from the step or be too high where you feel like you're going to fall in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this out so there's more ledge over there. Not this one here, but I'm going to build out so we can put our quartz on it. You know, I'm going to go out and buy a sheet of that, the large jumbo size. I'll cut that part out and I'll get all the backsplash done. But what I'm going to do for the front is I'm going to use the same paint that I'm using in the water heater closet over there. Well, both water heater closets. And here, it's a white epoxy paint. And I'm also going to use it on the door frame and this door here too as well. So I'm going to build it out, but I'm going to have an access panel in there that's going to be magnetized. And I'm in the process of trying to figure out, this is existing, I'm in the process of trying to figure out where I want to put my valves, because I want shut-off valves. I want, you know, I want access to things. And, you know, when we had that leak in the floor, not realizing it was the water line behind the hutch and that sink, we didn't know where it was coming from. And so I opened that up thinking, well, maybe it's coming from there because you had no access. I want access to stuff. So if we ever have a leak again for whatever reason, I know I can get in there and look and put a flashlight around there and check things out and see where, if it's coming from this point, and whatever. So anyways, I'll build it out so we have more of a ledge right here. And definitely more of a shelf space back there, so it brings it out, you know, more, and then just a couple of inches. So I'm going to bring it out to about 6 inches there, and maybe about and a total of 4 inches over here. That way I'll come out around this area, and if you go up, it puts us right about, I'm going to say approximately 7 inches from the edge of this tile. Well, if that's the case, I need to go in a little bit more. And if you got 7 inches, you know, my 7 inches is probably right about where this wall is. That means I can drill straight through here, but down below, take my PEX 90s, right? Put a board in there, screw this one PEX on there and go out the side that way, and do the other one right next to it or below it, I mean, above or below. And that way I have my hot and cold water right there, right where I want to put my access door. And I think the other side will require one too, I believe. I have to pull that tub out to see about the motor and all that. So, I'll make sure, I hope I don't have to move the motor or anything around. You know, if the motor's in the back corner there, I'll need it in the front, because we bought it to be similar to here. This motor is right there, but I don't know where the other one's at yet. I have to tear it apart, or open the box at least, and make sure mice haven't jacked with it. So that's all good, because I thought I was going to have to, in the beginning, open up this wall here and up there as well, and feed my lines down and that way and then back out. You know, don't have to. Now that I've, you know, you take your time and things start coming back to, you know, even though it seems like a lot of work, other work becomes easier. So it's just a matter of just drilling a couple of holes, put my plastic grommets in there, and I can run these pipes in the chase, insulate them, do all that stuff, come down, shoot out, and pump them right there. That's perfect. That works. And then I got the other bathroom over here. Let me show you this one. This is after I finish the master prime, main bathroom, bedroom, all that, the suite. All right, still have to repaint this room. This is all original paint, this bluish gray stuff. So this sink here freezes too. So I'm looking at is coming down inside this wall here. This tub, unfortunately, doesn't drain very well at all. I mean, you can see the dirt because that's the one I'm taking a shower in. So the dirt just kind of stays down there because this does not drain. So I have to look at pulling this tub out. The problem is I have to chop it up in here. This tub is about 32 inches wide and all the doors are about 30. So when it comes to this area here, after we get that one done, I'm gonna have to chop up this one here and put in a tub and then possibly just tile it out. And that way I can open up the wall, come down the inside of the wall, because right now, again, like everything else, the hot water comes up, the cold water comes down. And I want to make sure that we're all out of the outside walls, even the toilets. And I'll figure that one out here, and I'll show you this in a second. So once we chop this thing up and pull it out, then I can reroute my lines. Once I open this wall up here, I don't have to remove this casework. I can just drill on the side of it over here, and then come in the back and just open up the wall. And once I reroute my lines for the sink, I can keep them closer to the outside wall, but stay on the inside wall right in here. And then I can come this way and inside the back and connect inside there. You know, too much stuff. Now when it comes to the toilet, that one might have to stay outside, or at the same time, when I get ready to, yeah, that's a bidet attachment. When I get ready to do this sink, this is another bedroom to my right. I can pull this cabinet right here and then come inside the wall, open it up, top and bottom, all that, and then run all my lines, my hot and cold from the top, so I can eliminate all my hots from the bottom, and then put this back and just do a regular patch. You'll never even know that was even in there. And then after we sand this down and paint it, we can put it back. But we can also run another line down and inside, I don't know what's in there, towels. But in the side, in the back area, I could, if I wanted to, come out right there in the corner. And then I have this sink over here. I don't have to worry about this toilet because there's a closet there. So this one's already coming down the wall. That means I just have to splice it. I just have to splice it up there, which I don't really want to do, but I will be using brass fittings and not plastic ones with the PEX A. Here, since it's an interior wall, I really don't want to disturb too much in here. I mean, if I come in and I did a crown molding or something like that, that'd be the only room that would have crown molding. The countertop going, you know, it's like it's been poured over or something like that. It might be like a, I don't know what it is, not epoxy, because epoxy will lay flatter. If I look at coming down this wall here and maybe opening up in a picture, this is easier to get my friend who knows how to texture real well. So that would be an easier spot for him to work in than to have to deal with the cramped quarters of the bathroom. So I think that's probably the way to go, because I can open up a hole mid-center right there. And as long as there's no fire blocks in the way, or blocking of any kind that might be in the way, I won't have to open up another hole or open up the wall itself. That way I can run my 2 lines down and then in. But that's what's all coming up, you know, trying to get all this part done and rock and roll with it. Then the house itself will be 92.5693% finished. The only thing that won't be finished will be all these doors and replacing that. I don't know if you guys seen this, but we have, just so you know, we have reverse osmosis right here, right? And we have nothing underneath the sink except for the garbage disposal. Because when I designed this island, I made sure everything was right here. All our shut-offs are right there for the washer and the sink. So you got your lines coming in. Those ones here are still live because they're underground, hooked over to the water heater in the garage. And once I get all that done and everything ran to the top, those will be dead. I'll just abandon them in place. I'll just cut them down low. I won't cap them or anything. And then I'll be able to clean up the rest of this stuff. Just kind of threw it in there. But this is what I got set up here. That's mounted. And that's just on the, that tank's just sitting on the floor, and then all our filters to it. What I got to do is come back and just remount my 2 PEX lines. And that's it. Everything else, I ran a MC cable through and put all the switches out here, right there on the side. What used to be here was an octagon setup, and the lights above matched the octagon. So we had, you know, light here, here, and over there. And then I went through and redid all that and had them patched in. You can almost see certain patches here if you really look. And then they had a backsplash on it. And the only thing that was in there was a sink, an ice maker, and a washing machine. No storage at all. So we went ahead and got the dishwasher put in. You know, I made it to where we had plenty of room in between here. I think there's like about 5 feet, maybe a little less. Well, 5 feet from cabinet to cabinet, not including the refrigerator. And this is almost a full slab right here. And so I said, look, this is what we need. Storage unit, storage unit, storage unit. The center one I'm using for all my supplies. And then I had to cut out the concrete all the way out and then go out to the water heater closet over here. So when I get all that done, it'll be hooked up. Basically, the sink and everything from the kitchen, laundry room, will be hooked up to the water heater out here. And I'll get rid of the one that's in the garage. And by the time I get done with that, all pipes that come in the ground to these locations for the hot water, and all the pipes that come in from the top, except for the kitchen sink. And even that came in from the top, and I redid that one too. Will all be, although original ones will be no more pressure and be all abandoned in place. And I talked about how I hid, if you have a backsplash, most people put their plugs in there and they'll have the switch for the garbage disposal and the backsplash, you know. You got a little countertop right here, right? And so you got a little bar countertop. Well, I went ahead and just kind of blackened things out, and that's what I did there. That's the switch. Hide it. The only thing I kind of regret is not adding at least a switch, you know, a plug here and a plug there. That way, if we wanted to have more cooktops, or you know, like she's got going on over here with the slow cooker, if we wanted to have another chicken roaster or something like that there, then we could. I do have, this one's a GFI, it's on its own circuit, and these two here are on their own circuit, and then this switch here are for the lights above. So that we just have that. I did reutilize their lights underneath here. So you come over here and you turn these on. I had to cut them down because the cabinets that they had before were bigger, so I cut those down. And then there's another switch that I added to here for all those up top. So I basically just kind of daisy chained inside the attic. Boop, 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 boop. You know, get a little easier. So, you know, it needs to be clean, man. We don't normally. And you can't see the switches too because they're tucked, and there's plugs in there too. You got two plugs here, got one there. There's a switch, double switch here. This one here is for the upper lights. This one here is for the kitchen lights. All these guys, those are reused. They had them here, but I was looking at buying those anyways. That one there has the plug underneath it, so you don't see any plugs at all here. And that's what I would have done anyways. That's what I've done in the other kitchen remods. Hide them. This one here's got 3 plugs in it. See, 1, 2, and 3. So, and then I went with just a standard vent and fan, and I need to put actuators on this guy here because it doesn't slam. You know, it's got soft closers and it just goes straight down. But keep it open. But we don't go up there that much. The other house we used to keep all the oils and everything up there. Now it's just spice jars. We're doing nothing but jars, and then her cookie cutters. So, a little tour of what I designed and put in. And the only thing I kind of regret too is that I wish I would have put the double oven over here and the microwave over there. And the reason is they don't make right opening and left opening microwaves. So that means when you open it, you have just a little bit of counter space. If this wasn't here, to turn around if it's too hot to put something down. This way here, if you had the double oven right here, you can open it up, grab it, and at least move it to here or onto the stovetop. You know, just like she does from there. So move it from there to here, or she'll move it from there to the counter or the top, stovetop. So that's the only thing that I would redo, is make sure that I can place the microwave better, just for easier access for when it gets hot, you know. Because the door kind of, just, you know, just for your own sake, when the door is open, you got to make sure you can squeeze through here real quick, or put it down here, put it down on the counter real fast, so you don't burn your hands. So, That's what I've done. That's what I need to do. And this is what we're doing. And I'm going to repair the ceiling where it came falling through the day that my Kohler valve blew. So I'll get all that patched in, get my buddy out here to shoot it, knock it down, do the knockdown. It's not a bad knockdown. He's the one who did this house originally with him and his dad, so it's a small town, man, you know. The plumber that did this job, for whatever reason, no longer alive. The air conditioning contractor that did this job, he is no longer alive either. And I don't know who did the electrical framing and cement work. Anybody, but I know who did the drywall. Installed it and taped the mud and all that other. Painting, I don't need to know anybody about that. That's just paint. You know, I mean, there's great painters out there, but I've had to redo pretty much all the painting here anyway, so. Because most of it was sprayed. I don't like sprayed, I like rolled. It gives it a better look and it lasts longer. And it's easier to wipe off too, especially if you do a semi-gloss or a satin finish. You know, easier to clean. So, all right, Matthew's doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting geared up for my 3/4 inch flooring strips. I start with the ground first, get them back in the ground. And then I gotta look at my blocking for all my panels and for any plumbing that I need done. So, I'll show you more here. Alrighty, well, I'm moving like super slow today. Matthew always moves slow because he's still learning. But he did get all the blocking up all the way around. So I'll have to figure out over the weekend. I'm gonna put stuff away. I'm not gonna work this weekend here. My back is sore and just not feeling it. Ain't feeling it. Matthew's gonna vacuum the floor. I'm gonna get out here. Little by little, I had to go cut all the strips, you know. Like always, pull everything out. Do what you gotta do, pull it all back in. Just one of those days. A little burnt out. But at least taking my time with it allows me to see things that I need to take care of. And then I end up coming up with new ideas. And like I was saying, I like the Delta faucets. I have 30 days to return the stuff on Amazon, all right? So I'm still gonna look for what I prefer to have, not settle for what I can only get, but I haven't been able to, I didn't take the time to, you know, to go down to Tulsa. So what I need to do is go there, check out who's open, you know, before I head out there, of course, and see what they have in their catalogs if they don't have anything on display. Ferguson is one of the companies that we bought the tub from and all the sinks and the faucets and stuff from, all the fixtures. So we'll probably, I think it's Ferguson. It might be something else. I have to ask the wife. But whoever they were, we'll go back to them. They were okay with prices, you know. Everybody's a little high, you know. But we'll check it out. I just can't find anything that I want online, and I put in Delta and stuff, and I just can't find what I'm looking for. So we'll go over to them and, you know, find out if they're open on Saturday. If not, I'll have to make a trip out there during the week and do it soon. Because my order from Amazon should be here Sunday or Monday. So in order for me to move forward with getting that plumbing at least in the wall and over before I can seal up, of course I got a pressure test. And that I can do just by putting a manifold together and hooking a hose up to it. Prefer to have the natural pressure, but we'll see what happens here. Shower may be put on hold for a bit. Things are going away and things are getting put in. So you guys have a blessed weekend. Thanks for putting up with me, and talk to y'all later. God bless.